Hey everybody, it's Brian and John again.
Hi.
We want to give you a quick update. We have gone and we have purchased our supplies for our challenge building a Mechs gaming table for 20 bucks or less.
And we agreed that I'm not spending another $20 to work on a project of stuff that I've already bought. So
we're going to cut him some slack.
Brian has agreed to let me utilize the stuff that I already have purchased.
Right. Because, you know, here's the thing. If you're like us, you're a gamer on a budget.
Yeah.
And by the way, shout out to my wife. You probably want to give a shout out to your wife.
Hi, honey.
Hey, I promise I actually came in under budget. So less than 20 bucks for a table for Mechs gaming goodness.
And the difference between this is that I'm going to give Brian the shout out on this one. We just shopped together.
Right.
And we did it together and came up with ideas together and whatnot, looking through the hardware store.
Right.
But the difference between my table and his table is that I built mine around the Mechs mat that I already had, which is the Tri-C Mechs mat, the green one, whereas Brian did his from scratch.
Yep.
The I have nothing and I want to make a 2x3. So in all honesty, my mat cost $15 more because you have to buy the Mechs banners on the cheap mat.
Right.
And Brian started his from scratch.
But if you look at it, John, and I think this brings up an interesting point, if you look at it, if you're a gamer and you've already got some stuff, then John's table is a classic example of how you can start with maybe some base essentials that you already have,
Right.
work and build on them, and make it better, while my table is, let's say that you get your box set, and you know what? We love Mechs. You may be playing a different miniatures game. Here's the thing. You know, you got your models, but you're getting kind of tired of just fighting on the tabletop with the salt shakers and the books, and I've been there. I've done that.
Yeah.
I know. So
This reminds me of the very first time he ever came up to my house. This was about 12 years ago.
been a little while back.
I had made row houses. We were playing Flames of War, World War II game, and I made row houses out of, what was that? The foam core board.
Yeah.
And I was so proud of them. I was just so proud. I spent like 4 days cutting them out with X-Acto knives, gluing them together and painting them. And
he made templates. He gave me an envelope full of the templates, which I still have somewhere.
on how to make this stuff.
Yeah.
I was so proud of it. I had like $3 in the entire table.
Yeah.
Because that was back when I was super duper poor and had all my money wrapped up in my miniatures.
So here's the thing. When you're looking at miniatures gaming, you're going to have people that are going to say, oh, well, it's so expensive. Actually, it's not. It depends, first off, what kind of miniatures game are you getting into? Are you getting into a big unit game? If you're getting into a big unit game, then yeah, you're going to pour out a lot of money on your models.
Right.
If you get into a skirmish level game, and there are a lot of good ones, we prefer Mechs. I mean, that's us.
Yep.
So if you play that game where there's not as large of a buy-in, as a matter of fact, there's a board game. It's Mechs Recon, and you spend between 30 and 40 bucks.
You spend $39.99, and there's me with my 99-cent thing again.
Yeah, you're getting.
I'm a 99.
He's a 99-cent kind of guy.
Anyway, you spend $40 on your Mechs Recon, and you get 2 armies. Two armies
Plus security forces
to play against, just as casualties.
Or they actually have stats for security forces.
They do.
In the
but then you go
book.
out to the website and spend $5 if you buy the
Boom.
What is it? The Assassination Protocol one,
Right?
Where you have European
Union
and Tri-C.
Correct.
And you spend $10 more. So for $50, you've got 2 completely playable armies. You might not have all 10 dudes,
right?
But
you're playing.
MegaCon Games has already stated that they're going to start selling singles, so you can spend, you know,
you can get the other
$3-4 a model on singles and get the blisters and build it up.
And
so for $60, you've got 2 complete armies and you're ready to play.
Cheap
so
and
for
easy.
under $100, 2 complete armies. Build yourself a table.
Well,
amazing.
Well under. You can do it. Okay.
MegaCon Games, you guys are doing it right. You really are. I mean, there's so many games out there to play. You've made a fantastic rule set fun to play, exciting, good tactics. I mean, there's key features to games to make games distinctive from other games, and like snap the cover.
Absolutely.
And, Infinity has that whole shoot and you shoot and you shoot and you're shooting on everybody's turn and everybody's shooting.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, you've got that. In Mechs, you've got Overwatch, and it's not overpowered. You've got the, one on, one off, one on, one off.
Right.
And you can adjust your initiative to make it so that you're not going to, I'm going to send this guy out first,
right.
and he's going to take it. And I'm going to adjust my initiative down on this guy so that he's running on the free spot.
Right.
It's just, you guys did a good job. Bang up work. Love it.
And the thing of it is, again, I teach. John works for the Postal Service, retired military. So we're not talking an extravagant amount of income that the two of us have coming in. So we have to operate on a budget. And doing that, if you want to have some nice terrain, you can go out and you can spend big bucks. Now, that's going to be your gaming budget probably for several months.
I'm just sitting there looking at all my terrain over there. That's 20 years worth of purchases right there.
Right. So here's the thing. You can either do it that way. We'll call that the hard way.
Right.
Or you can do it the easy way, which is what we're doing in this challenge. Okay? So, John, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's talk about what you did.
All right. I had already decided that I was going to make... Michael and I were discussing it. I got to figure out what to do with my sunglasses. I'm a fidgety person. I got to be doing something at all times.
Now, I don't want you to edit that out because I want them to get to know the real
me. Anyway, so... Shut up.
This is actually the way we are.
All right.
You're a jerk.
Okay. You're a jerk face.
Go ahead.
All right.
What do you got?
So Michael and I were discussing about, on the next podcast, we're going to discuss running tournaments.
Right.
Michael's Merc mission briefs this week is going over league play, building your community, which is actually, go listen, Merc's Overwatch.
Yep.
Get us off of Podbean, download us off of iTunes.
Hey, TuneIn Radio, we're also there. But Michael is one of the guys. There are four of us, John, myself, Michael, and Ryan. He's a beautiful painter.
Yes.
And we do a podcast. It's at Mechs Overwatch. You can find the page on Facebook, or you can download it on iTunes or Podbean. So check it out. Anyways, Michael and John were talking, and they're going to be doing this thing. And so evidently this inspired you for an idea for a table.
Right. We were discussing how to do a tournament, and we were like, well, if we have a bunch of people that don't have a lot of armies, why don't we, because I've got all the armies, he's got all the armies, Michael's got a couple armies, Ryan's got a couple armies, but let's set up tables where it's opposing forces on what would be considered a home board.
Bang.
So like Michael is discussing his favorite MegaCon is ISS. So he wants to build a hub.
You're right.
So it's going to be like a giant maze back and forth with big areas, and the object of that one is going to be make it to certain points of the hub before ISS can flood that section and kill everybody on your thing. So it's going to be more of a scenario, but it's going to be. But I was going to build an oil field, Chemvars into power and things like that. So I was trying to make, a Venezuelan oil field or something of that nature.
Cool.
So that's my idea that I came up with. My other one that I'll show in the future is I'm doing a Safadu diamond mine straight out of the Blood Diamond movie with Leo DiCaprio, where they have all the mud pits and everything like that, and the guys in the little shantytown shacks and stuff. So those are the ones that I'm working on now. That's why when we came up with this $20 idea, I was like, I'm not coming up with another idea. I've already got two of them that are
so let's
already halfway to fruition.
So let's talk about the ingredients to your oil
All right. The ingredients to my oil field is everything that I have lying in front of you cost me $19 even, and I've still got, to be honest, I could cut these up into my popsicle sticks into little bits, but I'm just going to go out and spend what we saw today, those coffee stirrers. I'm going to buy coffee stirrers to make piles of wood, and I still have to print something out
These are craft sticks.
Craft sticks.
That's the actual name.
Actual name.
You got a pack of 75 here.
Right.
So look, this probably, let's be real honest, you're probably not going to
I'm
use
not
all
gonna use
75. So
I'm probably going to use maybe
boom.
$1 worth of that.
We're talking about reusable. Okay,
Right.
so this is economically, it's a sound purchase. I mean,
And I'll be honest with you, when I bought this stuff, I bought the more, like, this is a 6-piece thing of plastic canvas and it was $3.47, or you can buy a single sheet for 50 cents. So I bought the,
Right.
I'm only going to use 2 sheets, so I'm using $1 worth of it, not $4 worth of it. Anyway.
And here's the thing, okay? Yeah, he's going to build the table. These also have a lot of versatility for a miniatures player because with a little blue tack on these things, stick some models up here,
And paint them.
and you're painting. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, works awesome, works nice, great purchase.
So I got the craft sticks. I'm also, let's see, where was I at? These, this little guy is basically $1 for the whole shebang.
Yeah, you had to buy. Now you bought these separate from the joints.
Okay. These are 8-inch sections.
Okay.
So I bought 2 feet of pipe
Okay.
for $1.50.
2 feet of pipe, $1.50.
And he cut it for me while I waited.
There you go.
Because I said, I don't have a cutting tool. What do you recommend?
Did he charge you
plug in the old
anything?
bandsaw? No, he didn't. It was one of our local. It's Robin Hood Hardware. It's our local.
Here's the thing,
I
guys.
buy my air filters and everything there.
If you go to a hardware shop or a craft store,
If you go to a real hardware store,
they're going to take care of you.
a mom and pop, and
Yeah.
don't go to Home Depot because you can't find. Yeah, I say go to Home Depot because it's cheaper. But if you go to a mom and pop,
Yeah.
like an Ace Hardware or a Robin Hood Hardware, or like where we went today, the Adel Trading Company, which is our local builder supply,
Right.
they're going to take better care of you because they're better customer service, to be honest.
And also understand something. Look, this is kind of important in this day and age. You're helping a small business.
Right.
I mean, and there ain't nothing wrong with shopping Walmart. I
So-
did. Ain't nothing wrong with shopping Home Depot or any of those other chains. But you know what? You can build up your local economy, build up your local community, and they'll take care of you. So actually, you said, now how much did it cost? Got how much of that?
24 inches, 3 8-inch sections,
3 8-inch section, and that was $1.
$1.50.
$1.50. Nice. So you get some of that because that has a multitude of uses as well. All right. And
So-
how much were these joint pieces?
39 cents a piece. The price tag's still
Oh
on.
man.
So 90-degree elbows, 1/2-inch pipe, and then came back here and put a little bit of super glue on it and put it into place.
Wow.
So
Nice.
that's that.
Nice.
And those are just 3 oil lines, and the way we were doing it is they provide cover.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, soft.
and that goes with the Mechs rules.
Yeah.
Remember this, okay? If you can see the model, but it's kind
It's
of
kind of
obscured,
obscured. It's
it's
covered.
+1.
Yeah.
If you can't see, but a little bit of the model, +3.
Right. And then these guys are just the big oil storage caps. I'm going to paint them gray and then paint the Chemvar worm on it, the logo.
Now, how much were each of those?
These were $4.99 a piece. So a bulk of had I known we were going to be doing the $20 contest, the other one that I have over there was $3.99.
Right, but it's smaller.
But it's smaller.
These have a good size,
Right.
and they help to really represent,
Right. So big oil storage drums, 2 of those.
Those are cool.
And then I'd already discussed this yesterday in the thing, the dowel rod,
Now, how much was that dowel rod?
I think 29 cents, maybe
Boom.
39 cents. And then
Another use for the craft stick.
yes, so the craft stick is gonna be the base. I'm gonna cut the dowel rod with a pair of dikes until I get enough all the way down. And then I'm going to put some hot glue, drop it down inside there and let it dry, hot glue, and then super glue it to there.
Okay.
And then lo and behold, I've got chain link fence to go around my thing. And I'm going to dry brush it gray or black.
Right.
And then I'm going to say that it has that weaving through it to provide cover. It provides cover, not, it's not heavy cover.
Right.
Just be some cover or not. It all depends. It's all what it looks like.
Right.
But I like each piece it's like I said in the podcast, I like my tables to tell a story,
Right.
but I also like everything to be on it to be functional. the way I'm figuring is that, you know, cover.
Right.
So that's, and then here's my Cracker Barrel paint. Actually, it's Apple Barrel. I call it Cracker Barrel. But I got granite gray to paint all this stuff. And I also picked up, I've got primer. I picked up gray primer, gray spray paint.
Yeah.
$1 a can.
You can get $1.
So,
yeah.
but that's supplies I already have, and I'll use that for everything. But throw a coat of gray on this stuff, and then kind of like texture it up a little bit, and then dry brush, paint my logos on it. Be simple, be easy. And then the other thing is that I have got. Remember that giant army deal I got on the eBays?
Yes.
The fine gentleman that sent that to me also included a disc, and on that disc is a ton of Papercraft Terrain.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
And in that Papercraft Terrain are a couple of like metal buildings,
Right.
like warehouse type buildings,
Right.
and like 4 months ago I was at our local Dollar General, and they had foam core, black foam core board
Nice.
on sale for 50 cents a sheet.
Boom.
Needless to say, I bought out the entire stock.
You know what?
And I've got it up there on the top of the shelf in the corner of the clubhouse, because you can never have enough foam core, because you never know when you're going to need it.
As a miniatures gamer, you know what? You're looking for those things. I'll tell you right now, if somebody's eating a can of Pringles, it may seem kind of weird, but I'm lurking around waiting for them to finish with that
Right.
can of
So you
Pringles.
can
Because
save it.
if they're getting ready to throw it away, I'm grabbing that bad boy, because you can use those for a multitude of things.
Right.
So
I'm going to take those. I'm going to take those files down. I'm probably going to give them to Michael, because Michael's got a laser printer.
Right.
Michael's got the nice laser printer.
Right.
And have him print it out on that 110-pound cardstock, that
Yeah.
thick, heavy cardstock,
Yeah.
and then glue it to the side of the foam core.
There you go.
And then I'll have, when it's all said and done, I'll have a couple of metal buildings that are storage sheds, some fencing with the pipes and everything in the middle,
Yeah.
a gate, and then just for odds and ends, we've got a couple of wrecked pickup trucks and things like that from the
Right.
cars. Put those out there just as whatevers.
So under 20
I mean, because
bucks.
reusing the terrain, you know, you put some Matchbox cars out there, it doesn't matter. It's just for blocking line of sight.
That's all
So
it is.
that's my $20 table. This is just the initial, this is what we bought. This
Right.
is what we've got episode. In the future, you know, the next time you see this stuff, it'll be painted up and thrown together. I'm going on vacation next week, so,
Lucky.
but we'll
I'm already
paint
on
them up, and there we are. We'll have it. We'll start doing our actual mission briefs.
Okay. So you
Now
have
to you.
You have nothing. You're starting out. You've been playing on. So here's what I did. I came up with an idea. For some reason, when I was thinking about a table, oh, it's going to look like you just tried to stab me with that. Okay. For some reason, when I was thinking about my table concept, the three words that kept coming to my mind were Ice Station Zebra. And so
Actually, it was I love ice cream.
So what I did was we modified, and John actually came up with a good tagline, so credit to him. So I changed the name to Ice Station Zero, and John actually came up with that. But so I started thinking, okay, this research station, you know, it could be a USCR thing, it could be a House 9, House 4 thing. You know, you could do a multitude of ways. Maybe somebody's been poaching, but I figured it'd be kind of like one of those polar type research facilities. So I went to Walmart
USCR.
and I looked in the fabric section, okay? Because I was assuming that, you know, I'm starting with nothing. And I bought, this is actually fleece, okay? Polar fleece.
Polar fleece.
And I got this.
Happy with my potting bits.
It's a yard of this polar fleece, $2.97. So I'm going to be able, that's going to be 3 foot by 3 foot. Because as John told me at the store, you know, there's 3 feet in the yard.
3 feet in a yard.
I'm very proud of
Actually, what I was trying to say is how wide is a standard piece of fabric? Because then you only need to buy 2 feet. But he's a smart button. Pushes.
it. Right. So
Pushes my buttons.
then we went to, what's this?
Adel Trading Company.
Okay, and so I've got these ideas. So I picked up a couple goodies, and they're probably wondering what kind of maintenance, what kind of job is this guy going to try and do with all this stuff?
Right.
Kind of wonky. So
I don't lie. I just say we're making model terrain.
So the first thing that I picked up is these two caps. I like the way John's look, but I don't need any that big because mine aren't fuel containers. Remember, this is a research station
That's
on one of the
underground.
poles, so most of it's underground, but you're going to need some parts of it that are above ground, say, for exits and entrances and things like that. So these are going to get painted up, and they're going to get the research lab looking treatment. And actually, I picked up 3 of those, okay? And that's going to factor in and be pretty important. Then, as we were searching and looking through, I found this. It's kind of an electric junction box. Now it has 2 screws in the bottom of it.
It's like it doesn't.
I'm going to remove those. I'm going to remove those. It's metal, so it's going to be durable and resilient. I'm going to take these screws probably out of the top, or I might try and figure out a way to rig up maybe with some cardstock, maybe a little satellite dish looking apparatus to put on it.
Well, I was thinking of that. The satellite dish stuff. Take a piece of that mesh that I've
Right.
got and cut it into
Right.
triangles
Yeah.
and just do it in a circle with some popsicle sticks.
Yeah.
And you can have like a little satellite dish going up, spray paint it black,
Yep.
and it'll be
Well,
easy peasy.
now this does have a few holes in it. Let me tell you something. I've got some duct tape at home, and I've got a little bit of putty, so I can patch those. Here's the thing. I'm wondering.
Actually, you need to go down and get some straws and put straws in there and make it look like vent holes.
That's true. But what I'm kind of wondering, I kind of like the metal look on it. Like it
Yeah.
would represent a metal building. But of course, I don't know how feasible that is, but it might help it look colder. I don't know.
Gray primer.
We'll figure out. Yeah, probably do some gray primer and probably do some of that. And then we found these.
This was the find of the day. These suckers were 89 cents a piece, and basically all they are is outlet things that you put in drywall. Suck that into the drywall, and then you put your electrical outlet on top of it. But look at these bad boys.
So-
I'm thinking about going out and getting $10 worth of them just to put them on the table as connexes.
So, yeah, that was a pretty sweet deal, pretty sweet
Because
find.
they're just awesome.
And as we were making one last circuit through the store, I found these little bad boys, these gizmos, which these are some nice looking kind of different above ground structures. They've got these 2 nails coming out, and here's what I'm thinking.
Because remember, you put that into the wall against a stud and then nail it in, and then that's it holds an electrical outlet.
Right, and I got a round one.
So you're going to be looking for this stuff in the electrical supplies aisle.
Right.
This stuff is in the plumbing aisle and the PVC pipes and stuff like that. All of this stuff is in the electrical aisle where electrical outlets are.
And what I'm thinking, and I've been giving this a lot of thought since, okay? And I may even do something where I set these up together.
Holy, look at that. Okay, I'm imagining this thing sitting, and these little guys right here
Right.
are windows.
Exactly.
To let the sunlight in. Like
Well-
that's the center cap of the
Right.
research station.
Now-
It's your toy, but you do. what
No,
you
no,
do.
you're
That's just
absolutely
what I
right.
was
That's
thinking when I saw
exactly why I picked it up. Well, see, this has them too.
it. Right.
So here's the other thing with these nails. There are some possibilities that I'm looking at. One of them is, and I got to thinking about this, how about hanging like some banners?
Oh,
Like
there
if it's a
you go.
USCR table, like hang some banners from them.
Yeah.
Or what I could do, and remember, I'm going to just tell you about how much I've spent so far. I don't want to spend any more. So the next time I'm, at a convenience store and I get my drink with my
This
straw,
is where he starts to pillage.
I might grab a couple of extra straws. The next time I go to a fast food place and I'm in there and I'm getting a straw for my drink, I might pick up a couple of extra straws.
That's what I was thinking too. Coffee stirs.
Or coffee
sticks
stirs.
For a little pile of wood.
Glue them on there. If you can find the bendy straws, that's awesome because then you can bend them downwards and have them kind of like going into the ground. But I kind of like the idea of the banners. I really do. Kind of that corporate pride.
Well, and I was going to say, that's the thing is that I've got those pipes from my factory set that are, I'm going to utilize that on on my board, and I'm going to use those pile of boards on my board. And granted, that takes me up above the $20 thing, but I've had that thing was actually free because I won it as a prize at a tournament I went to for the best table. I designed a table and I won best table, so they gave me more terrain.
Right.
So in all actuality, that was free. Doesn't cost anything. It'll cost you $48. But it's got pipes and spools and all the kinds of little things that are laying around at like an industrial site.
Right.
But you can make that stuff just as easy if you go walk down the craft aisle and, the tubes, pipes can cut off some number 2 pencils and bundle them together in a big old pile. It was $1.37 for a thing of coffee stirrers. Right. You just put 2 of them sideways, crossways, and then lay a bunch of them on top, put 2 more up, and just glue them as you go. It's going to be time consuming, but, for $2, you can have a big old pile of line of sight blocking wood.
And let me throw this out there. That's the other thing. If you're wondering, okay, well, what kind of experience do you guys have building tables? You've won best table at a tournament.
I've won multiple. I'll tell you what, there for the longest time, I got most of my hobbying enjoyment out of building terrain tables. And in the future, we'll have them all out and you'll see them. But I'll tell you what, I really enjoy building terrain tables, and I've built a lot of them. Right. And I've won a lot of first places on.
And he's bragging, table. But that's okay. Now let me tell you
I'm proud of it.
Let me tell you this.
Sorry.
I'd gone to a tournament and they needed one more table set up, and all we had left were basically odds and ends, the remnants from tables that everybody else had put together. And so they said, Brian, can you throw us together a table? So I took the odds and ends and the remaining pieces and I built a table. Do you know? That won best table in the tournament. So listen, with a little bit of stuff, you can do something really creative. Now, we got to address the question, how much money
did Brian spend?
Well, for the fleece, it was $2.97. Okay, $2.97. For all this goodness that you see right here,
all the buildings,
the grand total was $16.85. So I'm actually coming in at $19.
And I'm going to tell you what, this is one
82
thing. If you were probably to go down and buy this exact same stuff at Home Depot or Lowe's, it probably would have been about $3 or $4 cheaper.
Maybe.
Just because you're buying it on major. But
maybe.
That's
maybe.
But I'm giving it to him because he's building it from scratch. I mean, he's going to use some gray paint and dry brush some lines on this to make it look like it's not just a giant white plane. Don't you half butt it. Anyway, it's gonna look like crap.
Whatever.
You're gonna see this thing in 3 weeks and it'll be a big white blanket.
You're gonna love it
with metal and blue. You're gonna be like, didn't he paint that stuff? And he's gonna be like, no, it's $19.
You're gonna love it because my table is basically gonna kick your table's butt. Hey guys, we'd love to hear your feedback. We appreciate you subscribing to our channel.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, appreciate all the subscribers.
We're enjoying it very much. You know what? Hey, we're here in our command center. This is kind of our place we like to hang out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, hey, let us know what you think about the program. Let us know about what you think about our tables and our ideas. Hey, share with us your ideas.
Yeah.
Or if you come up with an idea for a table and you want to see us try and build something like that for under $20.
Yeah.
Boom.
Let us know what you did.
Yeah.
Put your supply list up. Let us know so that we can get the word out. Building $20 tables. Hey, it's a way to go.
Or like I say, if you just come up with a concept, send us the concept. Say, hey guys, what do you guys think you can do with this concept for under $20?
Yeah.
And we'll try and do it. I mean, so we're going to be, again, our channel is about Mechs, but it's also about our hobby, building terrain, painting the models, doing all that stuff. So this is kind of like that hobby channel, all right? And we'd love to get your feedback, okay? Well, John?
Brian?
There's only one thing left to do.
Bye.
We're going to say bye to you guys, and we might be about to throw down with some Mechs.
We're going to go play some Mechs.
Yep.
So take care,
enjoyed
kids.
it.
See ya.
See you next time.